Good day, please chasing fans, except plot twist, it's actually night. My name is UsernameHere, and welcome to episode number, I have no freaking clue. Hold on, let me check. It is episode 15 of this Grand Marshal Grand Tournament. Can you believe, my friend Degon, that we've done this for 15 episodes now?
I can't believe it. It's like only about a year ago we started our first episode. I think it's been over a year already, actually. And yeah, that means episode 15, which means next episode will be the Invitational.
That is true, yes, an invitational is on the horizon, but for now we have 3 more rounds to go through for this particular episode. Starting in our first place position, one of the most hefty competitors we've ever seen in this entire tournament, we have the Mississippi State Trooper car, who is holding strong at 10 points, managing to regain that tie in the previous episode, but looking to make something happen and break out of that battle for first in order to stop handing points over to other cars and actually sees that lead back for himself that he was able to hold for, I think, like just one episode.
I believe he held it for like two episodes, but then he eventually lost it when I think Interceptor got 3 points in a row.
That is true, yes. I'm not completely sure how long exactly he kept it for. I don't know why. I think it was like episode 10, I think, is when. Episode 10, I believe, is when he broke the tie, and then episode 13, I think, was Police Interceptor's dominance episodes. Yeah, he held it for three. He held it for 3 episodes, I think, but the point is that he does not have it right now, and he will need to fight his way back to first if he is going to have a chance in claiming that title. In the second place position, an absolute monster of a police chaser, we have the Police Interceptor car with 10 points holding tied with Mississippi State Trooper, but at the same time, despite having an incredible episode, that was actually episode 12, not episode 13, that he got all 3 rounds. But yeah, having an amazing episode where he got all 3 rounds and grabbed himself enough points to tie up with Mississippi is a very hefty accomplishment. At the same time, he's still tied up with the car just in front of him, and he will need to put a lot of effort and elbow grease. Now that's a phrase into into grabbing that first place position and that title for himself. In our third place position, we have the Black Ridge police car hailing from Need for Speed No Limits, who's done like what has he done so far?
Well,
Hasn't
he
really
is
done all too much. Sorry.
he doesn't have much time. He hasn't spent that much time in this tournament yet, so he still has a chance to like score more points. He is also again the only Need for Speed card so far in this like currently in the tournament. So yeah, I
That
think
is
I'll give
true,
him a
I agree.
chance.
Came in episode 13, hasn't really managed to accomplish much recently, but there is still plenty of time for him, I would say. And who knows, this could be his time to shine. This could be his time to make it or break it. I use that phrase so often, and yeah, we'll be able to see if he can grab himself a point and get himself on the board. In our fourth place position, who did manage to grab himself a point in that last episode, we have USA Army Police. A very nice newcomer, however, definitely has a lot of ground to make up. Well, not make up. Definitely has a lot of ground to make if he wants to establish himself as a challenger for some of those higher positions in this tournament. He only has 1 point, and just ahead of him is JTF with 2. If he manages to tie it up, that would be good for him. But after that, he will be down 5 points from Detroit and Transit, which is quite the points deficit, I would say, but nothing is impossible, as proven by Police Interceptor, and he could garner a lot of points over a very short amount of time if he so chooses, or if he finds the skill and prowess to do so.
I mean, like the only point he got was from when he got reset on the spot, and that was mostly pure luck. But obviously, he still has the chance to prove that he could get a point without just luck, and which will happen in this episode.
That is actually true. The 1 point that he does have was not completely 100% earned, but at the same time, there's plenty of time for him to get points that are indeed 100% earned, and I believe in him. And I believe he does have a lot of fans as well that also believe in him. In our fifth place position, we have the New York City Transit Police Car hailing from the 15-round tournament, the previous champion of that, and as I've said before, technically the only car that has a tournament win under his belt in a way. Yeah, he's done pretty all right this tournament. Has 7 points at the moment. That averages out to winning 1 round every 2 episodes. And speaking of that, he did win a round last episode, which is very good for him. Very good for him, now holding with 7 points. However, he is tied up with Detroit for that second place position, and he does have a lot of ground to make up if he wants to challenge Mississippi and Police Interceptor for that first place spot. In our 6th place position, a very fearsome newcomer who's actually broken into this tournament just a little bit. He's actually been here a while. He got here and he's been here for 5 episodes now. We have JTF who has 2 points to his name at the moment and is looking to grab some more, utilizing any strategy he can and utilizing all the skill and prowess that catapulted him to first place in the Invitational that brought him here to this main tournament. He will, however, have a lot of fierce competition to battle if he has any chance of taking on the title of the best Grand Marshal there is.
You know, out of the 2 cars that have been inside the tournament through to an Invitational, JTF has had the most success with 2 points because Blue PDNY did not do so well, and he was the only other car that made it in from an Invitational.
That is true. So far, we've only had 2 competitors that arrived through Invitationals. The first one was True Crime Dark Blue, who was out within a few episodes after sabotaging Devion's very computer. JTF, on the other hand, has proved himself to be a very formidable competitor both in the Invitational against novices and in the tournament against seasoned veterans. He has managed to hold 2 points for himself, which is very respectable. However, he definitely has quite the deficit to overcome if he wants to grab himself a whopping 5 points in a reasonable amount of time in order to tie things up with Detroit and Transit Police. In the 8th place position, speaking of that, we have the Detroit Police car in the lead for style points in the 7th place position in the lineup, and with 7 points in terms of point standings as well. Tied with Transit Police, who really favors that 3rd place strategy. I have to say, almost every time you look, you just see Detroit in 3rd place, waiting for Police Interceptor and Mississippi to screw up, especially on the beach turn, in order to capitalize on that and find his time to strike. He has won many rounds that way, and it has essentially become a major staple of his tournament strategy. However, it hasn't really been serving him quite as well as it could recently, I think. And in our 8th place position, dropping in from from the Northern Territories, we have the Niagara Regional Police car, who has definitely dropped in from our good maple syrup loving friends in the north. That's not a stereotype. Well, that is a stereotype, but you know, I'm not offensive because I have friends from Canada. But yes, we have the Niagara Regional Police car, which serves as the protector of the region of Niagara, which also encompasses Niagara Falls itself. And he will be, in true nature fashion, replacing DEP and holding that 8th place position here in the lineup for this tournament. And ladies and gentlemen, it is time for round number 43, I think, to begin. Start your engines, fasten your seatbelts, all that stuff. Let's jump right into it, because round 43 is kicking off. So, how do you think the point standings could potentially change? What competitors could break out or lose ground here in this game, do you think, my friend Devion?
Well, I feel like JTF, he has done good. He should score some more points to catch up to Detroit, and I'm not sure how Niagara is gonna do in the back there, because like you could score points from back there, it's been proven, but like obviously not many cars have had success there.
Indeed, yes, many cars have had little, and by many I mean Velasco for 10 episodes was not able to grab any points there. It was like Blackridge having himself a bit of a spin out, as Ferry even used to do. U.S. Army Police trying to move around, but is not able to. Looks like Transit Police will be potentially, no, never mind. Blackridge will be holding themselves that 3rd place position. Here comes Niagara over in the back. A lot of battles for those positions here in this game, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Transit has managed to grab themselves 4th. It looks like Niagara is actually overtaking Detroit. So a pretty nice first minute of his first round here for the newcomer from Canada up north.
Yeah, like he's already made a position in like the first couple corners, so it seems like he's doing pretty good.
Indeed, yes. Grabbing a position so fast is definitely a good situation to be in. He is now in 7th, and Detroit is in last, and that is not a place that Detroit usually likes to be.
I noticed that Intercept is actually pretty close to Mississippi, like compared to previous rounds.
True, yes. Let's see. Blackridge spins out a bit, unfortunate for them. U.S. Army Police desperately actually recovers from it and will be taking the 3rd place position. Good work, them. Transit Police doesn't screw it up at all. Bumps into Blackridge a little bit. JTF is actually moving around the outside of this particular quick turn. Here comes Niagara as well. Niagara trying to grab some more positions from these rival competitors, and it looks like Detroit will be potentially trying to contest Niagara for that 7th place position. Alright, technical troubles up top have been resolved, and the runner is now on the long straight, followed closely by Mississippi with Police Interceptor in the second place. Looks like US Army Police is actually still in the third place. Pretty nice for him. Transit Police has a bit of a problem here in the fourth. Oh, Niagara actually bumps into Transit Police. Interesting for him. Transit Police spins out on the forest turn, but the good news for them is that they did not go into the forest itself, unlike someone like DEP would have, because DEP definitely would have. DEP would never miss up an opportunity to go say hi to the trees.
Yeah, so it looks like first lap's completed at this point. Let's see if Mississippi does anything. He gets close, but he doesn't give any hits. It's actually quite closer than compared to most times.
Indeed, first lap now is getting close to done. Police Interceptor spinning out a little bit. Police Interceptor slipping despite being in the first place position. US Army Police goes off the beach turn. Unfortunately for them, looks like they're going to be in the drink potentially. There's Black Ridge in the back. Who is that as well? That could be Transit Police. No, that's Transit Police actually. That might be JTF. Everyone is screwing up at the beach turn. Ben Detroit, as usual, is going to be seizing third place with Niagara going up onto the stand as well.
And as usual, many cars wipe out the beach turn and will have to be assisted.
Half the cars in the tournament have wiped out on the beach turn because they unfortunately don't know what brakes are. And as usual, Detroit will actually seize the third place position as a result. Detroit, as usual, holding that third place strategy because it always seems to work for them. And yeah, looks like it'll be working for them in this game as well.
Looks like there's been some ground made between the Mississippi and the runner.
Looks like there's some ground. There is some ground for Mississippi to make up. Pretty sure Detroit's in third, right? Of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? They're always there.
Oh, he clipped something.
Looks like Transit Police and cars have been busted. U.S. Army Police having a bit of a problem as well. Transit Police, unfortunate for him. JTF damage, and yeah, here's Detroit rounding out the bus turn. So yeah, Detroit as usual is in third place as he pretty much always is. If he continues to do this and gets enough points, he could potentially tie himself up with Police Interceptor in Mississippi and could create a three-way tie for first.
Yeah, but Detroit's kind of far back at the moment, so I'm not sure if he timed this correctly.
Detroit is far back, but at the same time, he doesn't really need to be that close to the runner. All he needs is to be in third place because he has proven that as soon as the runner spins, ooh, Black Ridge having a bit of a problem at the long turns at the bottom of the incline, but looks like he will recover from it. And here comes Niagara as well, actually in fifth, pretty respectable position for the newcomer. But yeah, as I was saying, all Detroit needs to do is wait for Police Interceptor and Mississippi to spin the runner out, and as soon as the runner is moving the opposite way on the track, Detroit, doesn't even matter how far away Detroit will be, they have their shot, they have their opportunity to seize everything they ever wanted. And yes, in that third, they will be able to just simply head on the runner and just continue to rack up points. JTF is actually a little bit busted themselves. Looks like the cars are having a bit of a problem. Very unfortunate for them. Looks like JTF and Transit Police at the moment are out of the tournament unless we choose to respawn them.
Runner makes it fine through the second time around, and so does Interceptor Mississippi as usual. And let's see if Detroit overshoots it, actually.
Indeed, here is Detroit in that third place position as usual. Will they overshoot it, or will they possess the brain to not do so? Looks like they'll be moving through it just fine, and there's Transit up there, and Detroit will be moving around Transit, who, by the way, is missing a tire in order to hold that third place position. Looks like that's a bit of a smoke here. Looks like what?
Yeah, looks like JTF is just stuck, and I'm not exactly sure. Sounds like one of the cars picked up something.
Definitely seems to be the case, yeah, as Detroit rounds around JTF and continues with that third place position. So we are seeing pretty much a very standard round today, I would say, ladies and gentlemen. Probably just going to be the same as usual. Oh, Black Ridge strikes that rock a little bit, but Niagara is doing okay as well. Niagara actually in fourth. That means if Detroit misses, Niagara could get a point on their first round. That would be very impressive from the newcomer, especially due to the fact that they spawned in the last place position in the lineup.
Yeah, and also like it's also again gonna prove that position doesn't matter.
Indeed, Black Ridge. What's going on with Black Ridge? Where even is this? Where even is that? Oh, it's ahead of the beach there. That must have some really busted steering. U.S. Army Police also with a problem having no tires. So yeah, it looks like we're just gonna have pretty much the most standard game possible. It'll be pretty much a three-way battle for first between Mississippi, Police Interceptor, and Detroit, who spins out, by the way. A bit of a problem for him. If he can recover from it, though, that is what he needs to do. The only thing that's abnormal about this round is the fact that Niagara is still up right here at the beach turn there. little bit damaged, and they're very far away from Detroit, but at the same time, they are poised to get that head-on collision if Detroit misses, that is.
Yeah, like normally Belasco like probably would have wrecked out at this point, but Niagara's been pretty consistent and not sustained that much damage.
Indeed, Belasco City probably would have wrecked at this point, much like some of the other cars in this particular tournament. And Niagara has proven that they at least have the ability to survive, if nothing else, and that could be a very valuable skill for them to have here in this game. U.S. Army Police getting over the rock and potentially moving back on the track. Don't know if this will actually help them. If they manage to get ahead on, that could allow them to tie up with JTF, and that'd be very interesting. However, I don't even know. Looks like they're going to make a roadblock, maybe, potentially.
Oh, what was that?
The runner spins out of his own devices on the beach turn. Mississippi crashes into the rock, and Police Intercept does the same. The runner pretty much was confused by U.S. Army Police's roadblock, and is that on the rocks?
So who's gonna hit him now? Is it Detroit?
But here comes Detroit. Will he get the head on as usual? He misses the head on, and that means that Niagara is now poised to grab himself his first point.
In his first episode, in the first round.
What a plot twist, ladies and gentlemen. The round looked like it was going to be as boring as butt. Niagara gets the head on, ladies and gentlemen. Niagara right into the front bumper of the runner, gets the head on, and pushes the runner right there into the pole position. And here's U.S. Army Police actually T-boning Niagara. A little bit of road rage here going on. And here comes Detroit as well in the back with another spectacular smash. Even if they lost this round, that means the slam points are all theirs. And here's Niagara, Mississippi. They're still trying to flatten the runner. Niagara, U.S. Army Police pushing the runner into the forest, and Mississippi actually arriving from that spin out to help. The runner's probably dead at this point, but I would assume probably doesn't even matter. So out of nowhere, oh but wait, that am I blind? Is that wait? Was that? Hold on, go back.
Yeah.
Is that car? Yeah, that's Police Intercept. I'm an idiot. All right, so I was blind. I saw a car that was vaguely black and white, and I thought it was Niagara because I was blind, and I don't know. Just forget about that.
So it looks like
So
Niagara will be getting
well
the
done,
points.
Niagara. This round looks like it was gonna be one of the most boring standard rounds we've ever seen. And then out of nowhere, USA Army Police does a pro gamer move by setting up a roadblock, makes the runner screw up of his own devices. Detroit misses, and then Niagara, in their very first round, get themselves a point. That was an insane performance from Niagara Regional Police, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we were talking about it. We said it would be crazy if that happened, and guess what just happened? And just like how we said it was going to be crazy if Interceptor won all 3 rounds, which did happen again.
Indeed, yes. Looks like Niagara has now entered into his tournament on a very high note, grabbing himself the first round that he's ever been in. So congratulations to Niagara with a spectacular head-on.
Yeah, and all the way from the back too. Anyways, now we will focus on the other cars that showed up.
Mississippi and Police Interceptor recovering from the beach turn problems, only for me to not even be looking at Police Interceptor enough. My bad on that front. To smash the runner, to get some extra smashes on the runner. U.S. Army Police joining and doing the same thing as well. Overall, these cars just being very aggressive today, even though Niagara pretty much seized the points. And I also have to notice that U.S. Army Police seemed a little bit angered by the fact that his roadblock strategy only allowed the newcomer to grab a point. Could be causing some anger for him. Could be causing his oil to burn, you could say. And we have Detroit Police as well with some incredible style points. Did not technically win the round, but I would say it was very stylish of him to come back and get himself a very aggressive smash that virtually got him some air against the runner. Well done to him, even though it will not equate to any points. Here we have Black Ridge, who's just underwater somewhere. Unfortunate for them. They kind of tried to do what they could, but not great. Not great. Not a great performance for them. Neither was it for Transit Police, who's still in 7, who still has 7 points, still a formidable competitor. But yeah, as usual, luck has just not been with them recently. Yeah, they haven't really managed to master that beach turn, and luck is just not with them. So at this point, they just it seems like they pretty much fight an uphill battle in order to win rounds. JTF also underwater somewhere. Not even sure what this. Oh, right here. Yeah, this This is actually a new place for us to find a car. Yeah, so they just got a bit busted right here, just in front of the spawn point, and I guess just drove off the cliff of his own devices. Also unfortunate for him.
So yeah, it looks like Niagara will be getting the point, and now we will reset all the cars and move on to the next round.
Yep, and welcome to the lineup for round number 44, ladies and gentlemen. After being punched in the face by that previous round, which looked like it was going to be super generic and boring with the usual cars being in the first, second, and third place positions, but then out of nowhere, the runner actually screws up on his own devices, and then Niagara Police comes in with the head-on collision, actually sees himself a point in the very first round that he's actually been in. An incredible performance from him. And with that, no lineup will be done, and we're going to jump right into the second round of this episode, round number 44. JTF goes off to the beach, while meanwhile, Mississippi Police Interceptor, Black Ridge, U.S. Army, all right, JTF is back. Black Ridge, U.S. Army Police, Transit Police, all of them are now getting off and started here in this game. JTF Detroit and Niagara Regional Police, the champion of the previous round, now moving ahead to see if they can seize any more points for themselves.
So yeah, Blackridge's gotta start putting some work in because someone else has already scored a point. And he's kind of like on the chopping block.
That is true indeed. Black Ridge is a little bit interesting, and he's had himself a nice drift there. Nice, pretty good drift as far as those drifts go. U.S. Army Police with the 4th, Transit Police with the 5th position. JTF braking for some reason, allowing Detroit, just handing a position almost to Detroit. Looks like those two will be screwed up a little bit. Niagara will be capitalizing on that by moving ahead of Detroit and JTF, putting him in the 6th place position. But JTF is now last, and that is the place where JTF likes to shine.
Yeah, but it looks like Niagara is just moving up really quickly in this tournament.
Niagara is definitely moving up very quickly in this tournament. I do agree. He's got himself a point already, and he is now in 6th place, which is very respectable. Black Ridge, however, on the other hand, is having himself a bit of a problem, I would say. Some other cards that are on the chopping block, personally, I don't even know. I'll say I have to look. Yeah, I'm going to say just Black Ridge. Oh, but a very nice trip from Black Ridge, kind of overshot a little bit. Transit Police gets a bit busted right there, and U.S. Army Police flies off the cliff. Could this mean Niagara's going to get in 3rd? Niagara actually moves around all these competitors battling with Black Ridge, but then no loses to Black Ridge. Transit Police in Detroit now moving ahead as well. U.S. Army Police going through the cliff. JTF has recovered from that. And now Niagara is actually in the 4th place position, I believe, just in front of Black Ridge. Niagara moving up very quickly in this particular tournament, pretty much stealing the spotlight, you could say. I don't know how many newcomers we've actually had do something like this.
So yeah, what do you think Black Ridge is gonna do now that he hasn't scored a point yet?
I would say the best chance for Black Ridge is to not screw up on the beach turn. That's what you got to do in this game, is not screw up the beach turn, because that's what screws you up. I think Black Ridge just needs to wait out the 3 rounds, wait for Mississippi and Police Interceptors to spin the runner out on the 3rd lap, as they always tend to do, and then hold that prime 3rd place position just like Detroit does in order to get the opportunistic head-on collision. That seems to be the most reliable way to get points. Detroit has recognized it and capitalized on it, and that is why Detroit is in 2nd. If Black Ridge can hold the beach turn for 3 goes, he will be safe to grab himself some points. It looks like he will not be doing that, though, unfortunately for him, but Niagara will actually be doing that. Niagara is now in 3rd, but Detroit is angry right now and is looking to grab that standard 3rd place position. There's a word, iconic, something like that. Prime, it's a freaking word. A lot of these cards are actually screwing up on the beach. They're very unfortunate for them. Transit, U.S. Army Police, and JTF screw up a little bit, but Black Ridge is now back on his feet. Trademark is the word I was looking for, by the way. Detroit is now angry, looking to try and move ahead and grab that trademark 3rd place position that he loves so much. Niagara, though, currently holds that position and is looking to keep it because they are in it to win it at this point. And yes, I will also talk about the fact that Police Interceptor was just a bit screwed up on the cinematic corner there. So interesting for him. Could result in a loss of ground and allow Mississippi potentially to grab some contact on the runner.
Looks like all the cars are actually still running.
That
although
is
some
true.
are pretty
all the
damaged.
cars, despite having severe damage from that beach turn, are actually still running, which means depending on how many cars actually miss a potential head-on, if that does happen, that could mean a lot of cars could be poised to grab themselves some grab themselves a point in this game. Mississippi coming quite close to some contact. Here's Police Interceptor with a nice drift, and oh, but Niagara throws it away by going up the mountain. Oh gosh, freaking dang it! And Detroit looks like Detroit will be holding that third place position unless Devion can pull him back on the track fast enough. Freaking, oh god. At this rate, we need to put a shipping container right there. Yeah, looks like Detroit will just be in third again. You know, as they always are.
But Niagara is still in fourth, which is not bad because he won the round in fourth.
Niagara is in fourth right now, and that is indeed not bad due to the fact that Niagara did win from the fourth place position in the last round. If Detroit misses the head-on once more, that could allow Niagara to get in for a second head-on, and that'd be incredible.
But it looks like Mississippi is really close to runner. He might get the point here.
Mississippi is indeed very close to running. He's grabbing himself a lot of speed as he closing in. He's just barely closing some ground on the runner. However, with this turn, it could be a bit of a problem. Looks like Mississippi might actually manage to get the runner here on the time of the beach turn, unless Police Interceptor being the flea car can catch up in time.
I think Mississippi might get him on the beach turn here.
It looks definitely possible. Looks like the runner will be taking the corner just fine. Mississippi doing the same. Police Interceptor also doing the same. It looks like the chase will be a bit standard for now. Who is in the third place position? Is it Detroit or is it Niagara? It is actually Niagara. It looks like Detroit may have screwed up somewhere, so Niagara has actually recovered their third place position. And some of the other cars here, oh, but they're actually going back, ladies and gentlemen. JTF is actually moving back around the track. The runner is now on the way to the cinematic corner, but here comes going the opposite way is JTF, U.S. Army Police, I believe Black Ridge behind him, and some other cars. So it looks like Mississippi only has one chance here, unless JTF is actually going to grab himself a third point. Here comes the potential head-on. Let's see if this pays off.
He's got 4 cars to dodge here. Let's see how many.
Cars. Yep, JTF gets the head-on, ladies and gentlemen. They move ahead. Here's U.S. Army Police, Mississippi with the box, and Police Interceptor smashes Mississippi as well. It looks like GTF actually managed to get themselves a nice turnaround and move around in order to seize the runner on the opposite way. Here's Transit Police as well, and I believe just behind him was Black Ridge indeed. I don't know where Detroit is, bumping Transit a little bit. Niagara's probably on the way here too, and the only person missing is Detroit.
Niagara, yes,
Yep.
He's indeed on the way. He's kept his car pretty
Niagara
clean,
here
actually.
Arriving at the scene of the accident, and that means every car is here except for Detroit. Where is Detroit? What happened to Detroit?
Is Detroit? Detroit
What did
is
happen to
he
Detroit?
wrecked.
All right, there's Detroit. Detroit screwed up on the long turn, long straight a little bit. Looks like Detroit screwed up on the long straight a little bit. Yeah, very unfortunate for them. Some serious front end damage. Not even sure how that managed to happen, but unfortunate for them because they ended up losing their trademark third place position to Niagara.
So yeah, it looks like JTF will be getting the point here.
Looks like our winner here will be JTF, who came out of nowhere with almost leading a pack of cars in the head-on and proving as the spearhead that managed to stop the runner from moving ahead any further. And as a result, JTF will now be awarded his third point in this game.
So that breaks the tie between him and actually he wasn't tied with anyone. Actually.
Yeah, there was no tie.
Yeah, he's just gonna be closer to Detroit and Transit. Anyways,
Indeed,
let's
JTF
check
will not
on the
be
other
breaking
cars.
any ties, and he is now 2 points away from his competitors below him in the point standings, and he is that much closer to potentially challenging Transit and Detroit for that second place position.
And now we would check on the other cars.
Yeah, check on the other cars, even though we already went over Detroit, and they're all still here. And they're all right here, yeah. Mississippi and Police Interceptor have themselves a pretty standard round of just not doing anything, holding first and second, battling each other a little bit, just staying on top of their game and waiting for their chance to strike, which as usual never came because someone moved ahead with a head-on. That person being JTF. Yeah, U.S. Army Police was right behind JTF, had a problematic couple of beach turns, but was right behind JTF and was looking to capitalize on it by potentially getting a head-on himself. He actually did technically get a head-on himself. He did smash the runner. The only difference is that JTF smashed and stopped the runner first, and USA just pretty much moved ahead to ensure the runner could not go anywhere and continue the round. Transit and Black Ridge, pretty unlucky game, I would say, as usual. Not really fun, not really a hugely fun time for them, as usual. Black Ridge doing a bunch of spin-outs and whatnot. Transit just continuing that run of bad luck, I would say. Yeah, and his Black Ridge's light bar is through his roof, indeed, yeah.
Have you noticed
I
that
gotta
both
say,
cars are?
I gotta say, his damage is through the roof.
Have you noticed that both cars are similarly damaged?
Yeah, they have similar damage. They're pretty much lined up perfectly. Yeah, interesting for them, I would say. Pretty interesting. Yeah. Unfortunate for them, they weren't able to grab points though.
Yeah, I was actually pretty surprised when I saw 4 cars going for a head-on collision. Normally it's like 1 and maybe 2, but that was 4 cars right there. Half the whole tournament.
Normally you do not see that many cars. So that was a very interesting round that produced a very interesting result. And the final car that we'll check on is Niagara, the champion of the first round of this episode. The first episode they've been in, and very respectable performance this particular round. Didn't equate to a point, but seizing that third place position and holding it against Detroit is a very difficult feat for, especially for newcomers to achieve. And yeah, Niagara managed to do it, and they were just waiting for the head-on collision, but unfortunately, JTF beat them to the punch.
So yeah, that goes through all the cars. They will now be reset and move on. We'll move on to the final round of this episode.
And welcome to the lineup for round number 45. In our first position, we have the Mississippi State Trooper car, who I don't know, just as usual, doing his usual stuff. Pretty much, at this point, I've kind of honestly run out of things to say. He is a good competitor, yes. He does get a lot of good points sometimes, yes. But mostly what he tends to just do is just kind of stay in first and do nothing, and then spin the runner out, and then someone else gets the point. And he does have 10 points. He is tied for Police Interceptor. That's good. But, you know, on a round-by-round basis, he tends to just not do much. You know, that's kind of the point I'm at. He's a good competitor, though. Very good competitor, and we'll see if he actually manages to give me the finger by winning this episode. And that'd be hilarious. Well, not episode. Winning this round, and that would be hilarious if he does. Because, yeah, at this point, I just don't really have much more to say about it.
I think, well, the thing is, Mississippi doesn't have a strategy, does he? He just follows the runner. That's all he does. No strategy involved.
True. That's true. Mississippi hasn't really ever had a strategy, I don't think. He does get points a lot. He does get points pretty often, and he does get, you know, I think what Mississippi does is Mississippi relies on Police Interceptor to screw up. And when you rely on your main competitor to get points, that's kind of not exactly how a competition kind of works. I think that's a bad strategy.
But at the same time, both of them are tied for the most points.
At the same time, both of them are indeed tied for the most points. They are tied for first, both with 10 points. So, I mean, it's not really the greatest strategy to wait for your competitor to screw up. Definitely needs to be doing more in order to seize those points himself. But at the same time, the point standings does prove that it has been working for him, I guess, because he is in the lead. And speaking of being in the lead, also, we have Police Interceptor in the next position as well. The second place position, also with 10 points, who, I don't really know. Kind of same critiques in a way, honestly. Just, Police Interceptor strategy has definitely been a weird one. Police Interceptor strategy tends to be to, I think, wait for the other cars to screw up a lot of the time, because I noticed that when Police Interceptor is in the first place position, he tends to be very likely to get a point. It's almost like he is the master of chasing, but he is almost held back by his competition, which is the point of a competition. But yeah, it looks like Police Interceptor, with all those points that he's managed to get, just doesn't really quite have that competitive spirit, I would say. They're definitely a very formidable police chasing vehicle, and they have the 10 points to prove it. They are tied with Mississippi, but at the same time, it almost feels like it's maybe committing the same mistakes as Mississippi, just trying to rely on the other cars to screw up, because maybe he's just got a little bit of cold feet sometimes, doesn't always like to get into the fray. In fact, I'm going to look at this. I'm going to look at the notes. Oh yeah, he's definitely got some really good aggressive wins under his belt. It's just it doesn't tend to be consistent, like I said. These two cars, definitely some really amazing wins, both with 10 points, but they, just not always consistent. In the third place position, gotta say, at risk of elimination as well here, we've got the Black Ridge Police Car, who, hasn't really done anything, despite being in here for a few episodes, hasn't really done all too much. And definitely needs to make something happen if they want to manage to stay in this game.
Yeah, being a Need for Speed car, he's supposed to be speedy, right? But no, he hasn't.
Being a Need for Speed car, he's supposed to have a need for speed. That's kind of the point, but he doesn't actually have that. He tends to just do a lot of lot of what Fairhaven did, actually. But the thing is, Fairhaven had the reputation to back it up. Fairhaven had a lot of the amazing wins to back it up. Blackridge, however, does not, and as a result, he is on the chopping block here.
It's not really living up to the legacy of Need for Speed cars in this tournament. We had Seacrest County, which he was quite a mess. And we had Fairhaven, which got a bunch of points, but Blackridge has not really done much.
Indeed, yeah. Seacrest County was definitely interesting in those first couple of episodes, in those first couple of rounds in the very first episode, but was ultimately thrown out. And then Fairhaven City with some of the most incredible wins this entire tournament has ever seen, despite the fact that they didn't actually win the tournament. Blackridge is definitely not living up to Fairhaven's name. So essentially, it's a how dare you drive where he drove moment.
So yeah, I don't know what Blackridge's strategy is actually, because he's not done anything whatsoever. He's just been crashing, and I guess he did show up in the last round, but that's about it.
That is true, but showing up is not enough to earn yourself a place in the point standings.
That is also true, and now we move on to the next car.
In our fourth place position, we have USA Army Police, which is a very nice competitor, I would say. Currently only has 1 point to their name, but it was a very respectable point, and they still haven't really yet managed to earn themselves a full-on points, I guess you could kind of say. Still just kind of biding their time, I guess learning the ins and outs of their competitors, grabbing themselves the 1 point so that they can ensure they won't be eliminated, which I suppose is a pretty respectable strategy. You know, just soak up information. Grab yourself a nice early win so you're not thrown out, and then soak up as much information. Then once you're confident you've actually learned all you need to know, that is when you can find your time to strike and start pushing your way up to the top.
Yeah, since we're going to talk about strategy, I might as well talk about it on every car. I don't really know what... Well, actually, the only point he got wasn't really based on strategy. It was based on luck. His strategy he doesn't really have a strategy, to be honest.
Was indeed. USA Army Police with not too much of a strategy. Did get a very nice ram in the... Actually, had a very nice couple of rams against the runner in the past 2 rounds. The only difference being that someone else ran to the runner first. Yeah, US Army Police definitely is showing that they've got what it takes. They just haven't been at the right place in the right time.
Yeah, he's definitely there. He definitely is present at when things happen, but he just needs to get the points to it while he's there.
Indeed. In the 5th place position, we have Transit Police, former champion, holding with 7 points, tied with Detroit. Definitely needs to make something happen, otherwise they could potentially lose their tie to Detroit in the near future. And I gotta say, they are a very formidable car, but they have been having a really rough spout of bad luck recently. They did win round number 41, which was in the last episode. At the same time, the last time they won a round was in episode 9. I'm not saying they're bad, I'm just saying they've been having a lot of bad luck. They tend to get wrecked a lot, they tend to screw up on the beach turn a lot, and despite the fact that they're a very formidable competitor, I don't know, it's just been a round of bad luck. Hopefully it'll end for them pretty soon, though. In our 6th place position, we have the champion of that last round. We have the JTF police car, who I do notice he tends to do best when he is in last place. If he gets to the last place position, he has a good chance of showing up at the end in order to seize the runner. And seize the runner he did, because he is now technically in 3rd place, actually, considering we have ties for 1st and 2nd. So he's technically in 3rd place in this game, which means he can be considered safe from elimination as well, because, yeah, 3rd place, like I said, he's got 3 points to his name, 3 amazing head-on collision wins that have earned himself a name, because he's definitely breaking out from the pack.
See, what I've noticed is that JTF never really exactly chases the runner to get the point. He just, waits for the runner and hits him at the right time, like a head-on collision.
Indeed, it seems like actual police chasing is beneath him, because his strategy is to wait for his moment to strike. And I do indeed believe that every single win that JTF has won has been a head-on collision. Both the wins in the Invitational, as well as all 3 of his wins in the main tournament, have all been head-on collisions.
You know, now that I think about it, he technically, including Invitationals, he has 5 wins, which is pretty good.
That is true. If we include the Invitational, he has 5 wins under his belt, and he is also, in a way, the only car. Well, not in a way. He is the only car so far to have won an Invitational without tying it up with another car, which means He's a very, very capable competitor that has pretty much broken out from pretty much nowhere, you could say. However, he does have a lot of ground to make up if he's going to manage to catch up to the cars that he is sandwiched between, those being Transit and Detroit. And speaking of Detroit, we have in the 7th place position, like I said, it's Detroit, the wallpaper on wheels, who has 7 points, some amazing style points, who once again continues to prove that the 3rd place position is usually boss. Hasn't been recently, but it's usually the one that gets you points. Also continuing to prove that they are some of the most, or they are the most stylish car in the tournament. So yeah, his strategy, as usual, like I said, has to have been just hold 3rd place. Hold 3rd place. Wait for that head-on collision opportunity to emerge, and grab that point for himself as a result. It's a strategy that's worked very well for him, however, not really recently that much.
See, the difference between Detroit and JTF is that Detroit chases the runner and waits for a head-on. JTF comes out of absolutely nowhere and gets a head-on most of the time.
True. JTF waits somewhere to strike and moves ahead. Moves ahead to get the head-on. Has actually twice managed to get the head-on on that particular bend after the cinematic corner. And Detroit, meanwhile, pretty much all of Detroit's head-ons have taken place in the town right after the beach turn. So yeah.
Actually, yeah, Detroit basically relies on the runner to be spun around and going the wrong direction, while JTF is perfectly fine with the runner going the regular way around.
Indeed, and that ultimately pretty much goes back to the classic debate of keeping things the same or innovating. JTF likes to innovate, likes to move around for those head-ons, and has managed to garner himself some points. Detroit likes to stick with the same tried-and-true strategy, and they definitely have the points to show that it is an effective strategy at that. And in our final position, the newcomer to this episode, the winner of the first round of this episode, we have the Niagara Regional Police Car, who, by the way, I probably should have mentioned this earlier. This is the new livery. This is like the new, most recent, Ford Explorer kind of livery. They used to have a different one. Yeah, I should have mentioned that earlier, but yes, this is the Niagara Regional Police Car, which serves as the police car for the Niagara region in southern Ontario, the one that also encompasses Niagara Falls itself. And they managed to grab themselves a very nice point in the first round, and they're now on the board with 1 point. However, 1 point cannot win you the tournament, and they will need a lot more in order to get themselves that title of Police Chasing Champion. And event is time, ladies and gentlemen, for round number 45, the final round of this episode. Activate your sirens, turn on your lights, start your engines, and fasten your seatbelts, because round number 45 is kicking off. It's kicking off here on Fox Sports.
Yes, that's wonderful. We gotta do the sponsor plug as well.
Yeah, the sponsor one. U.S. Army Police moving out in the 4th place, with Transit Police moving in the 5th. JTF champion in that last round in the 6th. Detroit and Niagara rounding out the 7th and the 8th place as they move ahead to try and grab themselves some new points. There is still 1 round left in the episode, and that means there is still 1 point yet to be claimed by one of these cars.
So Blackridge really needs a point here. Oh my god, what is he doing?
Blackridge definitely needs a point, and instead he just decides to drive into the cliff and get bumped into by U.S. Army Police. Transit Police running around U.S. Army Police as well. Looks like Transit potentially is trying to battle for that position. Transit will get it and grab the 4th place position. Detroit is trying to battle with JTF as well for the 6th place, and JTF will be keeping it. So yeah, Blackridge is definitely under threat here in this game. What is going on with Blackridge? Is his steering a bit busted? Looks like some of the cars are actually overtaking him a little bit. He's slowed down. So yeah, really bad final round. Well, potentially really bad final round for Blackridge, which could potentially spell the doom of his presence in the tournament. He's pretty much stopped. He's letting everyone pass him. What is Blackridge doing? Is this his strategy? Or is he just faltering as a result of that smash against that cliff?
Well, we were talking about strategy.
Transit Police hits the rocks a little bit. Still better than going up the mountain, I would say. U.S. Army Police a bit busted, too. And, oh my god, look who it is. Look who it is in 3rd. It's always Detroit. No, it's Detroit. Transit Police will be recovering from that thanks to our good buddy Devion. And JTF will now be in 4th with Niagara in 5th. A lot of these cars definitely having something to prove, I would say.
I don't know. We were talking about strategy, and Blackridge has not shown his yet, so we don't know what he's gonna do.
Maybe Blackridge's strategy is to lose because he wants to go home.
I don't know.
Blackridge moving up the cliff. Yeah, it looks like Blackridge, maybe his steering's a bit busted. Maybe that bumper being lodged in his tires has been a problem. U.S. Army Police upside down in the water as well. Unfortunate for him. Transit Police with something wrong with his tires. It's a bit weird calling on the arcane arts, I suppose. Yep. Yeah, he's definitely got some busted steering, so Transit Police is now at a severe disadvantage, I would say.
Oh, that
Blackridge,
doesn't
it looks
look
like
good.
they busted a tree as well. Don't even know where this is. Next to Transit is where is this?
It looks like the forest turn.
Definitely looks like the forest turn. Yeah, unfortunate for Blackridge. Unfortunate
So we
for
got
Transit,
we got
both of
2
which
wrecked
have-
cars around here. We don't know
both
what
of which have
what's
some
gonna happen.
pretty nasty damage to their cars. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I don't know. These 2 cars are gonna be fighting it out for something. Like
Indeed, potentially, yes, they could be fighting it out, but meanwhile, the runners moved around just fine. Detroit moves around just fine, but JTF screws up a little bit, and here's Niagara, who actually has managed to securely move across the beach turn. He is now in 4th, and he now has some ground to make up, and a hefty challenger in front of him if he wants to seize that prime 3rd place position.
so yeah, let's see what's going on at the cinematic corner.
Looks like the runner riding the cinematic corner just fine. Police interceptor with a nice spin as usual. Going to cost them some lost time. Going to cost them some lost time and some lost ground as well. But here comes Detroit in the 3rd, Niagara in the 4th, looking to make something happen. And just behind them, I believe, is JTF. And aside from that, we've only got the U.S. Army Police who've busted, and then Transit and Blackridge who are currently unaccounted for the entire lineup. Unless Transit and Blackridge have decided to move around in for a head-on collision, which is very unlikely, as the cars are not likely to do that. Yeah, I don't see them. If they did do that, that would be an incredible way to get themselves more points in this tournament. However, the AI is simply not that smart.
So yeah, it looks like the cliff turn now. I don't know what's gonna happen though.
Here's the cliff turn indeed. Police interceptor quite a bit far away. Never mind, there they are. There's police interceptor with a nice.
Oh, Detroit's sliding in pretty quickly.
Detroit with a nice style point spin. Niagara with a bit of a problematic spin back there, but will recover from it, so good for them. We'll be holding as much distance as they can. Blackridge is a bit busted here, I would say. Oh, it's actually at the long turn. Yes, that could be a problem for him. Transit is still going, but Transit is all the way back to the start. And JTF is actually flipped over at the cinematic corner. Unfortunate for him. So we've got 4 cars that are in problematic positions here, and one of them is the one that's at risk of elimination.
But at the same time, if he gets the point here, he doesn't have to be moving to get the point. Like, he could get the point and be still safe from elimination.
Technically, in a way, although I don't know how they managed to do that. Blackridge, I don't know. I definitely think the runner is going to move around Blackridge just fine because the car is completely busted. As you see. Oh, but police interceptor hits it a bit wide, and police interceptor takes a bit of a very harsh smash against Blackridge. So it looks like that could potentially open up Mississippi to get the runner here in the beach turn. Will it happen?
Not yet, but he's definitely gonna hit the runner.
Getting ground though. Looks like they're gonna get contact with the runner momentarily. Or maybe not. Perhaps I lied.
Well, Detroit's in second now.
Detroit actually in seconds. Yeah, the police interceptor is very far away, which means Mississippi will now be grabbing contact against the runner. This could equate to a pit. This could equate to a stop. Yes, here's the runner being hit by Mississippi. And will Detroit grab that head on as usual? They managed to get that head on as usual. Looks like Detroit will be managing to grab that head on. But the runner looks like potentially will actually still be going. But police interceptor, that's Niagara with another head on. So well done to Niagara, actually managed to hold that 3rd. But the runner is still going, and it's now a battle between Detroit, who spins the runner, and Niagara, who's looking to make something happen here in this game. Detroit is definitely fiercely looking to break that tie with Transit Police.
But it looks like the runner's still moving.
Did you pause it?
Oh,
but Niagara hits him in the back as well, so well done to Niagara again. What an interesting round here, ladies and gentlemen.
I think the runner's still moving.
This will be the what?
I think the runner might be still moving.
It looks like the runner is kind of maybe still moving. I don't even
know.
know.
He's not moving. He's not moving.
Make sure that's not true for long. Here's Transit Police actually as well.
Now he got the runner. Niagara did get the runner. He gets the point.
And it looks like the runner is now out of the game, ladies and gentlemen. Niagara even doing a Mississippi Ram against Niagara even doing a victory ram against Mississippi. That's what I meant to say. So yeah, Transit Police as well is here, which is pretty good considering how damaged his car was as well. And yeah, looks like at the end of the day, the point will be definitely awarded to Niagara and potentially Detroit. What do you think?
I think
2-point game.
Because the runner was still moving when Detroit hit him, but Niagara was the one that killed the runner. Therefore, he should get the point, right?
I guess I can't agree with that logic. Yeah, it looks like Niagara Niagara, the first episode that they actually entered, they will be getting 2 points out of. Niagara and Detroit both have managed to head on and stop and spin the runner, and Niagara will be the one to acquire a point. It's now been written down and logged. Niagara Regional Police now has 2 points. How about it? Can you believe that, Devion? After their first episode that they've arrived in, Niagara manages to grab themselves 2 points. So very, very big congratulations to them. They're definitely a bit of a breakout threat, I would say. Could be someone who could challenge JTF in the near future, even.
Yeah, JTF was in last, and he won two rounds. Niagara was in last, he won 2 rounds. Difference was that JTF was in Invitational, and Niagara was in the actual tournament.
Indeed, Niagara and JTF are some very big breakout threats here in this game. JTF managed to grab all those points despite being in last, and Niagara despite being in last as well. And the newcomers managed to get 2 points, doing in one episode what Velasco never could. Niagara is going to be a very formidable competitor, I can definitely tell. Also, one I'm going to mix up with Police Interceptor a lot, clearly.
Yeah, so we know who's getting the point here. How about the other guys?
Transit Police, good congratulations to Transit Police. Considering the spot of bad luck they had, I would say it's very respectable that they managed to get here at all, especially with the severe damage to their car. The fact they were able to get here and help to get the runner stuck is very respectable for them, considering all the bad luck and all the damage they've been experiencing recently.
Oh, his engine just died. Anyways,
Engine finally gone for the rudder. Mississippi, as usual, I would say, pretty much a standard game, but the fact that Police Interceptor bumped into Blackridge actually did manage to throw a monkey wrench into this game. It allowed Mississippi to actually get that pit on the runner, but unfortunately they were not able to follow it up with a point because Detroit and Niagara were in the 2nd and 3rd place positions respectively in order to capitalize on it.
actually remember, Detroit was in 2nd because of Interceptor spinning out. Or, I mean, hitting Blackridge. Therefore,
right, 2nd and 3rd, or did I say 3rd and 4th? I meant 2nd and 3rd.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. Remember, that makes Niagara the one in 3rd place, showing that 3rd place is where you're supposed to be getting the points from.
Yep, 3rd place wins the most, apparently. And speaking of Detroit, they had a pretty standard game, and they did move ahead and capitalize on it. They did get head-ons against the runner, and they did get pit maneuvers and spins and all kinds of stuff against the runner. However, unfortunately, I guess it will not equate to a point. I personally am not completely sure that they don't deserve one, but at the same time, you know, it'd be fine if they don't, I guess. But yeah, definitely. But yeah, you definitely can't deny that they put in a lot of work to stopping the runner here, almost working with Niagara, actually. The last place team could almost be a last place team. Detroit with the 7 points, looking to be a real buddy to Niagara, teaching him his tricks and teaching him how to get points from the middle positions.
Yeah, I think, just a prediction, I think if Detroit somehow remained in 3rd place, regardless of where everyone else was, like, if he let Niagara pass him, he might have gotten the point here.
True, potentially. That would have been very interesting. If the positions were swapped, would Detroit have gotten the point? Definitely could have potentially been what happened. Potentially. How are the other cars doing? Who's that? Yeah, here's Police Interceptor who, he got busted on the butt on the beach turn. Yeah, Blackridge serving as a roadblock over at the long straight, screwed with Police Interceptor enough to cause severe damage and ultimately caused Police Interceptor to smash right into the rocks in the beach turn. And once the fleet car was down, that allowed Mississippi and the other cars to move in for the kill against the runner. And yeah, speaking of Blackridge, it's looking pretty strongly like they're out in this game, but Blackridge with a very commendable, pretty much final breath, which managed to, at the very least, stop Police Interceptor's dominance for at least one round and provide a very hefty end to the round that is. U.S. Army Police just flipped over somewhere, wanted to go for day at the beach. Unfortunate for them. They have a point though, so I don't know if they're at risk for elimination. So you know.
Yeah, if he didn't get that lucky point, he would be at risk right now. But because he got that point, no matter what he did, he basically kind of locked himself in to not be eliminated.
That is true indeed. He is pretty safe at the moment, I would say. Meanwhile, who's JTF? Yes, is that the ditch?
That is the ditch.
Poor
Yes.
JTF. JTF's definitely. Hang on. JTF clearly must have sustained some severe damage, and as a result of it, was eventually just unable to avoid driving into the ditch. I guess that's probably what happened. They probably had busted steering.
That's true. And
Unfortunately,
yeah,
but
that
they won't be at risk because they do have they did get a point this episode.
yeah, so it looks like Niagara gets the point, and most like, and actually, yeah, confirmed that Blackridge will be eliminated.
Pretty much. Very unfortunate for Blackridge, who just pretty much did nothing ever since he's been here. However, I will say that it was a pretty good effort for viewers and entertainment value, at least, that he did manage to screw up Police Interceptor so spectacularly with a very successful roadblock against another competitor. It's not enough to keep you in the tournament, but it's definitely something, and it will ensure that he has at least something of a legacy in this tournament. And with that, it looks like episode number 15 has been concluded. My name is UsernameHere, joined by my co-commentator, Devion, and we will be signing off.